K-drama cycle begins. Hong Kong wasn't supposed to be this loud, but the moment LINGORM landed, the city shifted. Tickets vanished in minutes. Venues sold out before official promotions even peaked. Fan banners flooded Central, Causeway Bay, and Tsim Sha Tsui, many printed weeks in advance, as if fans already knew something big was coming. By the first night, it was clear this wasn't just a fan meeting. It was a takeover. LINGORM didn't arrive like guests. They arrived like a headline already written. What stunned insiders wasn't just the turnout, it was the control. Tight schedules, restricted media access, staff moving with military precision. Even veteran Hong Kong reporters whispered that this felt less like a tour stop and more like a strategic deployment. And then came the moment that changed everything. During what was meant to be a routine backstage transition, fans caught a glimpse, just seconds, of a familiar face exiting a restricted production area. Within hours, screenshots spread across platforms. The name attached to those whispers, Lingling, but not as herself. According to multiple industry sources, Lingling had quietly completed casting talks for a new project, one not listed on any public slate and not connected to previously announced LINGORM work. What shocked fans wasn't just the secrecy. It was the timing. Why now? Why Hong Kong? And why keep it hidden during a sold-out takeover meant to celebrate visibility? As the rumors grew, so did the silence. No denials, no clarifications. Just a sudden tightening of schedules and a noticeable shift in how LINGORM appeared on stage, more measured, more emotional, as if something personal was unfolding behind the scenes. Fans began connecting dots. Hong Kong's role as a testing ground, the unusual number of international producers spotted at the venue, and Lingling's absence from certain post-event appearances explained away as rest, but never fully addressed. By the final night, the energy in the room had changed. The cheers were louder, yes, but also heavier, as if everyone sensed they were witnessing the end of one era and the quiet birth of another. LINGORM didn't just conquer Hong Kong. They set something in motion. And Lingling's secret casting. It wasn't a side story. It was the signal. K-drama cycle begins. What happened in Hong Kong was never meant to feel ordinary. From the outside, it looked like another overseas fan schedule, another successful international stop for LINGORM. But from the moment the dates were announced, there was a strange calm around it all. No heavy promotions, no dramatic countdowns, just quiet confidence. And that confidence proved accurate when tickets sold out within minutes. Fans barely had time to process the announcement before everything was gone. Flights from Thailand, Korea, Japan, and even Europe filled up fast. This wasn't regional popularity anymore. This was global pull. When LINGORM arrived in Hong Kong, the atmosphere felt unusually controlled. Instead of chaotic airport scenes and endless fan footage, there were tight security formations, blacked-out vans, and limited exposure. Entertainment reporters noticed the difference immediately. This level of protection wasn't typical for fan events. It was the kind of security usually reserved for private negotiations or sensitive industry meetings. It quietly suggested that something more than performances was happening behind the scenes. The first real sign came on the second day. Lingling was expected at a scheduled appearance, but she never showed. There was no announcement, no apology, no explanation. The program simply adjusted and continued. Fans were confused at first. Some assumed exhaustion, others thought it might be a health issue. But then a blurred photo surfaced online, taken near a restricted casting facility in Hong Kong known for hosting international co-production meetings. The image was unclear, but the silhouette sparked immediate speculation. Fans compared posture, height, and movement. The conclusion spread quickly. Lingling hadn't disappeared to rest. She had disappeared to meet someone. What made the rumor explode wasn't just the location, but the timing. Hong Kong is not a casual stop for auditions. It's a strategic gateway for global projects. According to quiet industry chatter, Lingling wasn't auditioning in the traditional sense. She was reportedly in discussions that looked more like final confirmations than tryouts. That detail changed everything. It suggested that her presence in Hong Kong wasn't spontaneous. It was planned long before LINGORM ever stepped on stage. That realization reframed the entire takeover. The sold-out event suddenly felt less like celebration and more like a transition. On stage, the energy felt different. The smiles were warm but restrained. Lingling lingered longer when looking into the crowd. ORM held her hand just a bit tighter than usual. Their speeches focused less on excitement and more on gratitude. Fans later said the atmosphere felt emotional, almost reflective, as if everyone sensed they were witnessing something meaningful without fully understanding why. When Lingling spoke about stepping into new challenges and unfamiliar spaces, the cheers drowned her words out, but the clip spread fast online afterward. Fans replayed them again and again. Those sentences began to feel like clues rather than casual comments. And then, suddenly, everything went quiet. No agency statements, no denials, no confirmations, just silence. In the entertainment world, silence often speaks louder than words. Fans noticed posts disappearing. Keywords stopped trending. Accounts claimed their content was removed without explanation. At the same time, unfamiliar faces appeared at the events, international producers and executives rarely seen at fan gatherings. Their presence went largely unnoticed in real time, but afterward, fans began connecting the dots. As speculation grew, attention shifted to ORM. Throughout the Hong Kong takeover, she never contradicted the rumors. Instead, she emphasized trust, support, and walking together even when paths begin to change. Those words didn't feel accidental. Many fans began to believe ORM knew about Lingling's next step long before the public did. That the Hong Kong events weren't just performances, but a shared moment between the artists and their fans before something new began. The final night sealed the feeling. After the encore, Lingling paused, looked out at the crowd, and said that this wasn't goodbye, but the start of something bigger. She didn't explain. She didn't elaborate. She simply smiled and walked off the stage. That single sentence has since been replayed thousands of times, dissected word by word. In hindsight, it didn't sound like reassurance. It sounded like a promise. Now, fans are left waiting. No official announcement has arrived yet, but industry patterns suggest that confirmation won't come through words. It will come through impact. A sudden project reveal. An unexpected international casting announcement. A name appearing where no one expected it. When that happens, many will look back at Hong Kong and realize that moment wasn't just a sold-out takeover. It was a turning point. For LINGORM, for Lingling, and for what 2026 is quietly preparing to become. K-drama cycle ends, for now. K-drama cycle begins. After Hong Kong, nothing felt the same. Fans expected the usual post-event content flood, behind-the-scenes clips, casual live streams, playful interactions to calm the excitement. Instead, what followed was restraint. Posts were carefully timed. Appearances were spaced out. Interviews avoided specific questions. It felt as though everyone involved had silently agreed to let the noise settle before the next move. But the noise didn't fade. It transformed. Within days, industry insiders began whispering about a cross-border female-led project being fast-tracked for late 2026. No names were attached publicly, but private fan communities noticed something strange. The production keywords matched the type of casting facilities Lingling had been spotted near in Hong Kong. The genre matched the kind of role she had subtly been steering toward in recent interviews: complex, darker, emotionally layered. Roles that don't come from local casting calls, but from international tables. Fans began revisiting old interviews, pulling clips from months ago where Lingling spoke about wanting to challenge herself outside comfort zones, about roles that would scare her a little. At the time, it sounded aspirational. Now, it felt like foreshadowing. Meanwhile, LINGORM's schedule took an unexpected turn. Instead of immediate follow-up tours, there was a pause, a deliberate gap. ORM remained visible, fan interactions, brand appearances, controlled media exposure, but Lingling's presence became selective. When she did appear, it was brief, polished, and notably quieter. No playful teasing. No spontaneous moments. Just focus. That contrast only fueled speculation. Some fans worried. Others felt proud. Many sensed this was the natural evolution they had always hoped for but never wanted to rush. What calmed them most was the consistency between Lingling and ORM. Despite separate paths beginning to form, there was no visible distance between them. Subtle support remained. Shared acknowledgments. Private smiles caught on camera. It suggested not a split, but a rebalancing. Behind the scenes, sources hinted that Lingling's potential project was being handled with extreme care. NDAs were tight. Even staff were compartmentalized. This level of secrecy wasn't about hype, it was about protection. International projects often come with scrutiny, especially when an artist carries an existing fanbase as powerful as LINGORM's. One misstep could shift public perception overnight. Then came the smallest detail that reignited everything. A brief credit update appeared on a foreign industry database. It wasn't confirmed, and it vanished within hours. But fans saw it. A placeholder role. A code name. And next to it, a familiar initials match that sent timelines into meltdown. This time, agencies didn't move to erase discussions. They let them breathe, almost as if preparing fans gradually was part of the plan. By now, many had accepted the truth. Hong Kong wasn't the peak. It was the bridge. Lingorm's sold-out takeover wasn't just proof of popularity. It was leverage. It demonstrated global demand, audience loyalty, and market readiness. Everything an international production would want before taking a risk on casting. Lingling didn't walk into those rooms alone. She walked in backed by a movement. As 2026 edges closer, anticipation has shifted from speculation to readiness. Fans aren't asking if something is coming anymore. They're asking how big it will be and how it will change the landscape once it arrives. And when the announcement finally drops, when the secrecy lifts and Lingling's name appears in a space no one can ignore, many will remember Hong Kong not as a rumor hotspot, but as the quiet beginning of a new chapter that was hiding in plain sight. K-drama cycle continues.